What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, bringing you another 2016 NFL Draft themed video, where today we'll be looking at the top 10 potential bust, I guess they can't be labeled a bust yet, in the 2016 NFL Draft class, because draft season is well upon us as the draft comes in. These are some guys that I think if your team ends up drafting, you may want to be a little worried about. So jumping right in at number 10, and that's going to be Paxton Lynch, the quarterback from Memphis, currently with a first-round grade. There's been points on my channel that I've talked about the Eagles getting Lynch. I still think he's a solid prospect. I think he could be a good quarterback, but this is all about what happens with his playing situation. If you draft Paxton Lynch to start, if he ends up having to start at some point year one, he's going to be a bust. He's the kind of guy that needs to sit on the bench, take it all in, get at least a year under his belt before you can look at starting year two. I just think if he's some team like the Rams might have to get him and force him to start, unless they want to roll with Case Keenum. I mean, you could see the Broncos, they still don't have a quarterback as of time of recording this video. So all these teams, I think Connor Cook, even though he's not, I don't think he's in the same atmosphere as a prospect as Paxton Lynch. Doesn't have nowhere near as high a ceiling. Connor Cook would probably be a better guy ready to start day one than Paxton Lynch. I think he absolutely needs a redshirt year, and if a team does draft him and wants him to start right away, I think you're going to be looking at a bust on your hands. He needs to get that 1 year development before he can play in the bigs. And going to number 9, which is very, very similar, and that's going to be Carson Wentz, the quarterback from North Dakota State. He's currently a top 10 pick. I think he's the exact situation as Paxton Lynch. I think Carson Wentz has an unbelievably high ceiling. I'm not exactly sure where all these scouts are saying that he's better than a better prospect than Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. I mean, just the level of competition they played in college alone should be enough to make that a ludicrous statement. But I think Wentz definitely has all the potential in the world to be the best quarterback in this year's draft class and a potential starter. But again, I think he needs to sit a year. Maybe not as long as Paxton Lynch. I think maybe if you do an exact Blake Bortles situation with Carson Wentz, where you sit him maybe the first 10 weeks and then you see where you're at as a team. And if you're, on the playoff hunt, you maybe don't roll with him. But if there's games that you're pretty much out of the playoff hunt, you might as well throw him in and see how he competes after, he's had at least half the season to really acclimate himself to the NFL game. But I mean, just a guy like Carson Wentz playing from, the second division of college football, then to instantly playing Pro Bowl level talent in the short time of half a year. I mean, that can't be rushed. That is such a giant talent gap. I don't know. I just don't think he could do it. But, there's been a lot of rumors for Philadelphia getting Carson Wentz, and that would be an ideal situation. We have Bradford play this year, and then we see what happens next year. Anyways, moving on to number 8, that's going to be Jared Goff, the quarterback from California, another potential top 10 pick. We are talking about all of the quarterbacks here because I personally think if this was last year and these prospects are mixed in, Lynch would probably be a second-round, borderline third-round quarterback. Wentz, maybe late first, early second, and Goff might be the only quarterback I think just because of his ability to start day one as a first round prospect. I think all these quarterbacks, if put in the mix with a Marcus Mariota and a Jameis Winston, their draft stocks would be drastically lower. Someone like Goff, very, very small hands. His arm is a little bit suspect, and he's pretty poor pocket presence. His decision making is not ideal. I remember I've seen the one Cal game. Obviously, to say that one game defines an entire career is a little bit brash of me, but he played one big game last year with Cal and threw 5 picks in prime time. So that tells you that maybe playing big games and stuff like that might not be in his forte. He is the most NFL ready, but I think, like I said, he wouldn't be nearly as highly regarded as a prospect. This is a weak quarterback class. There's no other way you could turn it. And if these guys were in last year's draft, who knows where they'd be drafted. They would definitely not be considered, Wentz and Goff, especially top 10 picks. I can say that for sure. Going to number 7, that's going to be Derrick Henry, the running back from Alabama, currently with a second round grade. Will probably go in the second round. Just based off the history of Alabama running backs failing, it's not in his, favor for him to succeed. Just the sheer number of carries. He almost had 400 carries last year. There's definitely got to be some wear and tear concerns. He doesn't have elite speed. He has elite size. I mean, he's unnatural size for the running back position. His speed in correlation to his size is very good. But everything in consideration, his speed overall is not, game-breaking speed. He's going to be a kind of back, I think, he'll be more of a complimentary back than an every down starter. And a team drafting a running back in the first two rounds in this year's draft class, they're going to be looking for a future bell cow back. I don't know if Derrick Henry could be that. I think he's going to be, think of a Lendale White, Chris Johnson situation in Tennessee, a smash and dash kind of combination. That's where Derrick Henry, I think, will fit best. But I don't know. I think he'll be the expectations for Derrick Henry for whatever team draft him are going to be a little too high. That's what I think. Go number 6 is going to be Emmanuel Ogbah, the defensive end from Oklahoma State, currently with a first-round grade. I have him here strictly because he's the Combine Warrior bust. I don't necessarily think he's going to be an overall bust, but because he put the craziest kind of numbers in the at the NFL Combine for a really legit first-round prospect, I think teams are going to fall in love with that and not look at the technical side of things. He's below-average technique, meets crazy Combine numbers. That is this guy to a T. He's very poor against the run and very, very one-dimensional, and he lacks discipline. You know, the football IQ side of things aren't very good, and I think if he didn't have such a good Combine, he'd be considered a lot more of a developmental prospect and taken probably in the mid to late second round. But the fact that some team will be, you know, anchoring their first round pick on this guy, I think you might have to dampen your expectations unless he's not going to be forced to start right away. And much like a lot of these guys who I don't think are going to be ready to play day one in the NFL, unlike previous drafts where a lot of the first round prospects are day one ready, I think a lot of guys in this year's draft are going to need a freshman kind of redshirt season. Go number 5. It's going to be Sean Oakman, the defensive end from Baylor, currently with a second, third round grade. I think the ability and production don't equal his freak athleticism. He did not have, you know, for all the hype, he might have been the most hyped college player in this year's draft class. Just because look at that freak size, man. He looks like a goddamn Terminator. But I mean, he disappears in games. He takes off, you know, plays and stuff like that. He didn't have the most productive career at Baylor, especially his last year there. But I think it'll take a few years till he pays off. He'll be the kind of guy near the end of his rookie contract. He'll start to get everything going together and mesh. But I think if, you know, a lot of guys will see the name when the team drafts and be like, oh, we got Sean Oakman, baby. We got that freak on the defensive line. I think you might want to temper your expectations a little bit because he's going to need a lot of work. He's the embodiment of a project player in this year's draft class. Go number 4 is going to be Dak Prescott, the quarterback from Mississippi State, currently the second, fourth round grade. For me, I see him as Tim Tebow with slightly better mechanics. He's too slow of a scrambler at the next level. He's not going to be the kind of dual threat quarterback. He doesn't have the Russell Wilson type speed or the Cam Newton speed, even that in that consideration. He had, you know, average. I was really surprised. I thought if he ran a good 40, maybe there would be something there. But the fact that he is as fast as every other quarterback, and in college he was a running quarterback, a dual threat quarterback. I don't really know. I just see a lot of Tim Tebow in him. He's a big arm, below average accuracy. I think he'll be a career backup, and a lot of people will be drafting him saying, oh, we got a sleeper, baby. Give him a year or two, he'll be the starter. I just don't see much more of a ceiling than being a career backup. Go number 3 is going to be Robert Kimdichie, the defensive lineman from Ole Miss, currently with a first-round grade. I think he'll probably be in the second because of the attitude issues, the off-field issues. Proves that he'll be a head case. He's done nothing to say that it would be otherwise. I mean, everyone has come out and said that his interviews, which he needed to ace with all the off-field issues, did not go well. And I still am kind of surprised that I see people having him mocked in the first round. He definitely has some talent, but he takes a lot of plays off, and he's, you know, maybe the biggest boomer bust talent in this year's draft class in correlation to where a lot of people and experts think he will be drafted. Very, very worried about Kimdichie. He's going to need to go to the right coach to kind of, he's going to have to get coached up not only on the football field but in the locker room. He's going to need to go to a strong locker room team for him to have any really hope. If not, you're going to have another Randy Gregory on your hands. Go number 2, it's going to be Braxton Miller, the wide receiver from Oklahoma State. Come on, C4. Currently with a second round grade. I think the slow 40 time, obviously he had a good 40 time in his pro day, but, you know, I usually judge based on combine numbers because you never know what the fuck's going on at a pro day. He's still learning the wide receiver position, and if he goes in the second round, he'll be a bust based off draft position. He's an absolute prospect of a wide receiver, and I can definitely see him much like someone I mentioned, like Sean Oakman, where near the end of his rookie deal, he might be finally getting it together because, like I said, it's a massive, massive curve. He had that great spin move play. I mean, he definitely has playmaking ability, but he's still learning the position. And for a team to take a wide receiver that's still learning the fucking position, only has 1 year of wide receiver under his belt in the second round, is very, very crazy to me. I don't get it personally. And staying with the school, the number 1 bust is going to be Cardale Jones, the quarterback from Ohio State, currently with a second or fourth round grade. I mean, he got exposed in 2016. He needs to be much more refined in pretty much every aspect of the game. Right now, he's a slightly athletic quarterback. I mean, he's a big motherfucker, but he doesn't have that Cam Newton speed with a massive arm and very little accuracy. I see a lot of the negatives that's in Colin Kaepernick in Cardale Jones. I see him maybe as a career backup. He lacks the accuracy and pocket presence. He definitely could develop that, But as I see him right now, I just think a lot of people are going to be much like, a Dak Prescott. They'll be thinking, oh, we got this guy in the mid-rounds. He's going to be a beast. And then, you got to temper your expectations with this guy. I think he'll be a bust. But there, guys, those are my top 10 busts. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like the video, smash that like button. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.